Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. So, in this episode, as we're talking about public safety is essential to the Department of Natural Resources. The Department of Natural Resources focuses on water quantity. And with that aspect, there's a lot of outreach and education that goes along with talking to the different communities all across the state, as Nebraska is different from the western panhandle to the eastern side of the state. We have to be versatile in our approach of communicating to the general public, but then also communicating to the different state agencies that use our data, as well as federal agencies and local communities. Thanks for clicking on this episode. We hope that you take some knowledge away from this on how important public safety is to the Department of Natural Resources and how we help implement that across the state.
Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Around the Water Cooler with NEDNR. Today it's me, Devin,
And Alexa, hi.
And today we are talking to our divisions about public safety.
Yeah, in this episode, we are going to be hearing from Water Administration, Floodplain Management, and Dam Safety about what public safety means to their divisions.
I'm Tim Goki. I'm with the Dam Safety Program here at the Department of Natural Resources. Public safety is really why we have a dam safety program. It's what we do every day. Our dam safety program really does 5 things to improve public safety, starting with we review plans. Anytime there's a new dam constructed or modifications to an existing dam, we review the plans to make sure the construction project will meet current dam standards. After dams are constructed, and all dams in the state, really, we do routine inspections of those dams, so periodic inspections of all the dams to make sure the dams are being maintained and there's no serious deficiencies. And then after those inspections, we work to educate the dam owners and work with the dam owners to improve the conditions of their dams, again, to make sure they meet minimum standards to protect public safety. Another thing we do is we work with the high hazard potential dam owners. So these are the dams that are large enough or in such locations that if they were to fail, there is the potential for loss of life. And we work with those dam owners. They're required by state statutes to have an emergency action plan for their dam. So if the dam is in distress or in danger of failing, there's a plan that they can go to that basically says who's going to be called, who's going to be evacuated, who's going to carry out those evacuations, so that things aren't forgotten or nobody has to think about what do we do now. There's a plan in place. And then I think finally, like the major aspect of this is educating dam owners just generally about their responsibilities and their liabilities with dam ownership, and then also informing the public about, yes, we do have dams in Nebraska. They provide a number of very important benefits to our state, but sometimes we know that dams can fail and do fail, and when that happens, it is a risk to the public. So educating the public that where the dams are located, and if we unfortunately do have a dam emergency, where they live in relation to the dam and what they need to do to protect themselves.
I am Jamie Ranke. I am with the Floodplain Management section here at the Department of Natural Resources. When our team thinks of public safety, we are thinking about the floodplain maps that we create for regulatory purposes. We have a number of staff that are responsible for assisting our National Flood Insurance Program participating communities. And we're educating those communities. We're doing training and outreach with a wide variety of people from all ages, all backgrounds. And we try and do this in a way that's most useful for people to help them understand and really work with them at their level, meet them where they're at. We provide a lot of this information on our website. We have a very useful interactive map that we post all of our floodplain information on and guide all users to. It also contains a lot of FEMA's regulatory layers, so kind of a one-stop shop. We recently have completed a map that has inundation boundaries for a number of gauged communities in Nebraska and hope to build on that. But one of the key things that we can provide after a flood event is inundation mapping. It takes time, so having those created in advance is going to be a real benefit for us. We also administer the Flood Mitigation Assistance Grant through FEMA and work with NEMA on selecting mitigation projects for other FEMA grants as well. And this time of year, we are attending and helping host the ice monitoring information on our site.
I'm Jeremy Gailey. I am our Water Administration Division Manager. And our division's interaction with public safety is probably most illustrated through our stream gauging network. So we have over 120 gauges across the state of Nebraska, and when there are flooding events, our staff that are also located all across Nebraska need to go out and measure those sites to make sure that the readings we get and the measurements we get there are accurate and precise. So those numbers are used by the National Weather Service to predict flooding further downstream. So if they know that there's 100 CFS at a location upstream, we have inundation maps, thanks to our floodplain division as well, that can tell us how far up that 100,000 CFS upstream will affect those communities there. Additionally, we also help the dam safety section inspect low and significant hazard dams across the state to provide support for them. And another interesting thing that we get to help with in terms of public safety is help with inspections and observations during ice jams. We've got a number of pilots trained across our field offices across the state that can get out and take a look at these ice jams as they're happening to help inform local emergency managers make good decisions about what kind of actions need to be taken. So, and another thing that our field office staff help with across the state is trying to mitigate the effects of the drought. So one of our probably biggest jobs that we do is administering water in according to the prior appropriation system. So when there's not enough to go around for everybody, it's the oldest water rights that have the first right to it. And those water rights affect not just farmers, but they can affect municipalities too, and lakes and streams as well across the state. So our folks have the boots on the ground, and we're out trying to make sure that the water goes to the people who have the right to use it.
Thank you guys so much for talking to us about what your divisions do to help implement and create community awareness of public safety. This is part 1 of our public safety episode. If you're interested to hear what our other divisions do to help keep your community safe, click on part 2.